Hey Tech Team, I'm going to put together this video here showing a mass A/B split test ad rotation that I do for one of my clients. I know we've talked about mass A/B split testing a bit already. Some of you already know how to do that stuff. Some of you are, I've explained the concepts, but I wanted to show you from start to finish on one of our larger accounts how I do that. So. This will be a little tutorial so you can get some insights on how to do that for your clients and just how our general process for this works. So I have in front of me an A/B split test that I showed to a client. This was their last month's worth of data. You can see here that this top ad outperformed the bottom ad pretty much in all categories. Click-through rate's better, cost per click's better, average position is slightly better. Normally I don't care about average position too much, but I just highlighted it in this case because it was an overall winner anyway, so why not? And then you can see that the conversion value divided by cost, or the cost per conversion, was also drastically better on this ad. So pretty easy rotation for us here. You can see the different ad copies that we have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this bottom ad here. We're going to get rid of it. The client likes this headline, Call Center Outsourcing Pros, and they want to see if they want to split test the two description lines using the same headline 2 here. So that's exactly what we're going to do. So let's move this off to the side and open up AdWords. Here we go. Here's our account. So first and foremost, we always want to get our most recent set of data. I generally just pick up the last 7 days of data here, and then I get recent changes, and we want to make sure that we choose the setting that is to get more data here. This may take a sec, so just have some patience. You actually don't technically need to do the last 7 days of data here, or you don't need to set the date range technically. You only have to get recent changes. But as a rule of thumb, every time I come into an account, if I open up their AdWords editor, it's just a force of habit for me to get last 7 days and get recent changes. So just so that I'm looking at the most recent week's worth of data. It's just how I do it, I guess. So we'll get recent changes there, as you just saw. The main benefit of this is that we only have to rotate ads like once a month. There's really only one ad running, so it's easy for us to create nice looking reports like this. So it's like, here's what your A/B split test looks like, as opposed to have like different ads running in every single campaign or ad group. We don't want our data to be overwhelming. Like, this is very simple to explain to a client. Like, this ad is doing better than that ad, as opposed to like having like 18 different ad groups scrolling down. You can see I do the same thing for image ads as well. All right, so we got recent changes. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to pause all of the losing ads. So the losing, let me move that. I'm just going to close that actually. Oh, minimize it, that's fine. The losing ad, let's pull that up again, was, if I could get it out here, was our experts help you find the best the losing ad was trust our 20+ year experts. So let's go into any one of our given ad groups where this is running. Ads, expanded text ads. Here's the two that are running. So it's this ad here, that was our winner. And then versus this ad here, that was our loser. I'm copying and pasting these ad copies into Notepad just so it's easy for me to reference them on my other monitor. And what we'll do is we'll select all of our ad groups all of our search campaigns that this is currently running in. We'll copy and paste our losing ad copy here. Do a filter on it, and this is all of the ads that we're going to be rotating. So we just Control A to select all, pause, and you can see that in each of these ad groups now that's been changed. All right, this is where the grindy part happens, because for each one of these, I'm going to have to come back. Let's remove this filter here. I'm going to have to come in here and I'm going to have to copy and paste the winning ad. This is like the only tedious part about mass A/B split tests. But again, like once you do this, you can just let your A/B split test run, and it's easy to report on. Like you just run the filter at the end of the month, copy and paste the data into a report that looks like this, and you have nice, digestible, actionable data to work with. So copy and paste this ad in every single ad group. So I'm just literally clicking on every single ad and doing Control-C, Control-V. You'll note that when I go to each one of these ads that everything is the same except for headline 1. So headline 2, description line, actually I'm sorry, the headline 1 and the paths are going to sometimes change as well. Sometimes I keep the paths the same, but headline 1 will always match the keywords within that ad group. And we do that because if people type in like, Mexico City call centers, like in this ad group, we want the headline to say Mexico City call centers. That improves click-through rate. It also, improving click-through rate improves your quality scores because click-through rate is the most dominant variable within Google's algorithm for determining quality scores, because more clicks means Google makes more money. Alright, so there's campaign number 1. Here's campaign number 2. I hate the States campaign because it doesn't spend like any money, and there's 50 ad groups. I've considered just pausing this because I have to copy and paste 50 of these every time. But I'm starting to get a lot faster about it. So let's keep going here. There are reasons that you wouldn't want to have the same ad copy running in every single campaign or ad group. Actually, in this account, there are some campaigns that I do have separate ad copies for, and I run like a secondary A/B split test. Like I have the display ads, but I also have some search ads or text ads that have different ad copy than what we're currently running right here. So it's fine to run like a few mass A/B split tests at a time, or maybe you have like one specific campaign where it's like, so, some generic ad copy wouldn't work for every single keyword that you're trying to target. So there are definitely exceptions to having the same ad running. But for the most part, I'd say that most clients are, they're just selling like data analytics software. They're just selling, like these guys just outsource call centers. So it's really easy to write one generic ad that can cover all bases. As long as we swap the headline to match the keywords. Some of these other campaigns aren't so bad. You'll notice on some of these that you will notice that the headline always changes, as I mentioned. That path 1 and path 2, I try to custom tailor path 1 and path 2 to the headline or to the keywords as well. I don't really know like if that actually helps with click-through rate at all. So like if you use the same path 1 and path 2, or if you just don't use a path 1 or path 2, I don't think it really matters. But I guess as a best practice, you should at least analyze whether you think a path 1 or path 2 would look good in the display URL. Sometimes it looks a little bit awkward in the display URL. So yeah, you don't always have to use it, but it's probably best practice to be using it. Otherwise, why would they have invented it? Alright. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. It's kind of funny because you can see how many like paused ad groups I have here. That's how many times I have done this. This particular account actually started out as one campaign. When I first, actually it was like 3 campaigns. It was like a brand name campaign, I think like a generic campaign, and an industry campaign. We've slowly been building out over time. This is probably one of my happiest, most successful clients. And I think that I attribute that success to the fact that we started off very, very, very simple. This was actually one of the first clients that I started experimenting using my new reporting formatting, where I use this spreadsheet and just kept it all in one tab. I was essentially just trying to do less for clients because before I started doing this, I guess prior to that, I was trying to like report on everything, and like whenever we got a new client, I was always trying to like think of every single possible keyword I could humanly think of, and like make sure that we have these insanely fleshed out campaigns. And like sometimes a client would be paying us like $1,000 a month, and I built like 28 different campaigns for them with like, 7,000 ad groups and 85,000 keywords. Like it just got ridiculous. And not only does that overwhelm the client, but it's a lot of fucking work for us. And if you're overwhelming the client to the point where they're getting confused and frustrated, and you're doing a ton of work in the process, like why the fuck are you doing that much work if all you're doing is hurting the relationship? So it's a good lesson in less is more. Doing more for a client is not necessarily good. You need to work smart, not hard. And that's the like exactly why we started doing this mass A/B split testing in the beginning, because originally we used to have like different ad copies in every single ad group. So when a client would ask us like, hey, how's my A/B split test coming along? It was really awkward because if we selected any one of these particular ad groups, there probably wasn't statistically significant data on that particular A/B split test. And there was no way of like seeing like a global version of how those ad copies were running, like by running the filters on which ads were running. So so yeah, mass A/B split testing is a good example of how to work smart, not hard. So that way you only have to come up with one ad copy as opposed to Macadam. I'm sure you remember the days of when we would like go through every single ad group until there were like 30 clicks, and then we would write it, pause it, and then write a new ad like with HoodMart. It was just such a waste of time. I remember when we first decided to do this, the account that triggered me to invent this was Half Price Drapes. They were one of the accounts that I went like balls deep on their account build out, but it actually ended up being successful. But when I was trying to go through and do ad rotations and go through like ad group by ad group to like, imagine like it's taking me a while just to go through these ad groups and just copy and paste the winning ad. Imagine having to go through here and like analyze the actual data of every single one of these, choose a winner or a loser, pause it, write a new ad, and then go on to the next ad group. It would just take forever. It did take forever. It worked for us when we were like doing small clients, but now, no fucking way, man. That's Penelope. Penelope agrees. She's not a fan. Not a fan of the old way. Penelope, you need to shut your mouth. She's not a good listener. It's that pit bull stubbornness. Alright, we are almost done here. That campaign that we just did was the biggest one. The rest of these aren't so bad. So we are wrapping up shortly here. Here's one of the ad groups. You'll notice that there's no changes in this ad group. It's not bolded here. We run separate ads in the USA one because we're running like a separate split test, so they have different ad copies. So technically this ad isn't running all of the campaigns. It's just the high majority of them. Everything except for this USA campaign and our remarketing ads are a little bit different. All right, so now if we go through here, you'll see that we have this new added, or it's just, I mean, they're literally the exact same. We just copied and pasted. Like every single one of these is going to be exactly the same. But now the cool thing that we can do is let's go ahead and minimize all these. We just highlight all of those, the ones that we made changes in, and we sort it by this delta plus at the top here. And this little plus sign means that we just added it. So if we scroll down and highlight all of the ones that we just added, and there, down to here, the delta ones are the ones that we paused, so those are the losers. So what we're going to be doing here is they want to be running the same headline too here, but they want to test the losing description line with the winning headline. So all we have to do is rotate in the ad copy that we want to do for all of these and just paste that in there. And now each one of these, click on one here. Now if we look at our two ads that are running, now we achieve the goal of now we have the winning headline here in both of them, but we're testing out the losing description line with the winning headline. And that's true in every single ad group now. So everything is done. This is why we call it mass A/B split testing, because we can just we can do it all. I'm not phrasing that correctly at all, but we can do it all at the same time. So once we do that, we're done. Usually what I do is I expand these and I go through and I just kind of eyeball and make sure that I have two running. If I ever come across an ad group where like one's missing or one's paused like that, then I'll diagnose like, wait, what did I screw up here? But once you start to get good with this, I don't know, you probably won't mess up. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions on mass A/B split testing, on how to set it up or anything else, feel free to hit me up. But this should be a pretty good guide to give you an idea into how I actually do this for a client. What I'll do at this point is I'll upload the ads. I'll send a screenshot to the client saying that, you know, the ads have been rotated. Here's what the new ones look like. So we'll check in on that next month. And yeah, that's it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you later.